Welcome to More Organised Less Clutter, a podcast to empower individuals and neurodivergent families with practical, realistic tools to create a more organised, sensory-friendly, clutter-free and intentional home that works with your lifestyle and brain, not against it. I'm Narelle King, a professional organiser and neurodivergent mum who understands the unique challenges of family life. I help people just like you simplify your space, build sustainable organisational systems and create more breathing room physically and mentally. Every fortnight, you'll hear solo episodes and guest conversations filled with practical strategies on decluttering, home organisation, routines for neurodivergent families, mindful living, and how to build a home that feels safe, calm and functional. You'll walk away with actionable takeaways you can implement even if you only have 10 minutes to spare. Have you ever wondered how you can bring more playfulness, creativity and sustainability into your everyday life at home? Today on More Organised Less Clutter, I'm talking with Kirsty from Kirstie Creative. She's a proud, autistic, passionate creative who shares fun content online about crafts, home DIY and how to experiment with colour. You have to check out her social media pages. In this episode, Kirsty is going to inspire you to experiment with her craft theory and embrace more sustainable, thoughtful choices in your home. This conversation is also available as a video, so you can go over to YouTube and check it out. Let's jump into this More Organised, Less Clutter episode with Kirstie Creative. Today on More Organised, Less Clutter, I'm talking with Kirsty from Kirstie Creative. She's a proud, autistic, passionate creative who creates content online about cozy crafts as well as amazing home DIY. She is today going to inspire you to be more playful, creative and sustainable. Welcome, Kirsty.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, no, your Instagram page is amazing. It's such a beautiful place to go and have a look and just feel inspired and just love your projects that you're sharing, especially around your own house and that bathroom.
Thank you. The bathroom is my favorite room in the house, and it's such a boring room to have as your favorite because it's actually not even the bathroom. It's literally just like the toilet room.
It's just
actually
a toilet,
the most
isn't it?
boring room, but it's the best room in the house. I can't wait to get everything else decorated as well.
Yeah, it's good to have started small first as well and try it out.
Bite sizes, yeah.
Yeah. So if you were a Barbie doll, what two accessories would you come with?
I feel like I would come with a paintbrush kit, one that's small for doing art, and then also a big paintbrush for painting the walls in my house. And my second accessory would be a bedazzled book. Specifically, I want it to be bedazzled and beautiful.
And for journaling, or what would you use it for?
I think it'd be like a novel, some kind of like cute storyline, maybe like a queer love story. But yeah, I want it to be beautifully bedazzled on the outside.
Yeah, so you can just look at it and get the inspiration just from looking on the outside. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. So if I could work with you as a professional organiser, what area in your life needs some help with organising?
It's literally every single corner cupboard in the house. All of those kitchen spaces, the corner cupboards, we have tried our best to utilise them, but they're not giving what I would love them to be giving.
Yeah. Have you ever used roundabouts in them? Like the big roundabouts?
No.
Big circles, and you can put things in it and then you just spin it around. It's not going to make the most of the actual cupboard space, but it is going to make it more, efficient for you.
Are they those ones that are like the whole bench rather than like little mini ones?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, something you could try out on one of those corners.
Good idea. I love that.
Yeah. So what strengths do you bring then to your projects and your DIY that make your whole ideas really unique? And people will have to go and look at your Instagram or TikTok so they could see this, but just because they can't see it right now. So what's some of those strengths that you bring to it?
I think we really lean into colour a lot. Like, we're not afraid of colour. We recently did our toilet walls. We went to Bunnings and picked out 17 colours that we liked, and we went up to the counter and I was like, I'm so sorry, can I have 17 sample paint pots, please? And I literally thought I was joking, and they were like, are you sure? And I was like, no, no, I'm dead serious. I want 17 sample paint pots. So yeah, we really lean into color. We're not afraid of color. And I think that's really nice because we get to really like experiment with different designs because we're not restricting ourselves too much by a color palette. And I think the thing with painting a house is you can just paint over it if it doesn't look good. Like, it's such a low pressure thing to decorate in your house. It feels huge because it feels permanent, but you
Yeah.
really can just paint over it. So that's one way that we really love to experiment with color in our house is,
Oh,
painting.
yeah, yeah. And with the painting, because it's not just a paint of one
No.
color, it's like painting direct, like decorative painting that you're actually
Yeah.
doing on the walls as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in our
which
hallway, we recently painted the hallway yellow, but then also painted these like kind of golden yellow squiggles all the way down, and it's the hallway roof. So it's quite fun. We originally wanted to do stripes, but our walls aren't perfectly
oh yeah,
straight, and we
yeah.
couldn't figure out the measurements. It was too hard, so we pivoted and did these squiggles. But yeah, we generally will not just paint a wall, but we'll do something really fun to do as well. Maybe it's like a cow print or like a squiggle or like a wave is fun. There's so many fun. We go for generally pretty organic shapes or a stripe. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so when you were growing up, were you really interested in art? Did you experiment with art a lot when you were younger?
Our house was pretty my mum has beautiful taste, but it is not the same color
Okay.
palette. It's more something you'd see in maybe a country style magazine, which I love, but I've always been, yeah, very attracted to color. I remember one night my walls were white in my bedroom, and I really should have got in trouble for this in hindsight, and I didn't. Or maybe mum just was like, I don't really know how to respond to this, was not in the parenting handbook, but one night, like literally in the middle of the night, I woke up and I painted an entire mural over my entire wall, not just a tiny little bit, like quite literally the entire wall. I painted butterflies and flowers and a sun and grass and all of these things, and then just went to sleep. And then it was just never really acknowledged.
Oh,
So
really?
I
Was it
think, yeah,
stunning? Was it amazing as well?
I thought it was
Yeah,
quite cute as a kid. We
yeah,
kept it there for years. It's been painted over now, but
yeah.
yeah, I never got in trouble for that one. But yeah, I've always been really drawn to, yeah, color and creativity and things that I can do, I guess, around the home, even as an 8-year-old. But yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's so good. So what about if other people wanted to be more creative? How can they be creative how can they be more accessible at, being creative in their own homes?
Yeah, I think two things. The first thing is we have like these crafting trolleys.
Mm,
So me and my partner both have one individually because I don't want their mess in my mess. They don't want my mess in their mess. So we have these crafting trolleys where we can kind of have our projects that are kind of like in progress. We can kind of pack them away onto the trolley, and then as two neurodivergent people living in a household together, we often get sick of the room that we're in. So having these trolleys means we can like wheel all of our crafts all at the same time, from the kitchen to the craft room to the bedroom to the lounge. That's one way that really makes crafting really accessible for us, is being able to move around the house.
yeah,
The other thing that makes it really accessible is having organized drawers and boxes that are labeled with the kinds of crafts that we have, given that we do quite a lot of crafting and have lots of little bits that maybe aren't a proper craft kit, but are just like, we could maybe do this with this one day, let's keep it. Having those organized into boxes, it did start out as one little tiny box, and that was fine as is. But now that it's expanded, having them labeled as different things means that it's so much more accessible, because when you go to do it, you're not overwhelmed by, oh my goodness, I have no idea where that random thing is. You're like, oh, it'll be in this box labeled this, no worries.
yeah, yeah. And do you find then, are you both able to organize it, and is it micro organized? So like, so I'm just thinking of little house, like those little tiny houses
Yeah.
that you can make. Is it all the little parts of that are like organized separately, or it's just tiny houses in one little box altogether?
It's probably not too micro organized. I think we
Yep,
have maybe like 6 boxes and a set of drawers. We generally have like a box that is like all of our paint supplies, and it'll
yep,
be like brushes and paints, like acrylic paint, oil paint, all of the paints in one. So it's not like to the
Yeah.
detail.
Okay. Yeah.
Or we have like a box that's more like craft kits that we've purchased. So it's got like an embroidery kit I purchased. It's got a knitting kit that I purchased.
Yeah.
So they're kind of all kept together. And then there's like beading in another box. So it's not too micro where it's like, glass
Yeah.
beads,
Yep.
seed beads. It's more like beading. And it contains the wire cutters. It contains the, wire, the thread. It kind of has it all in one. Yeah.
Yep. And so are you both good at putting that back when you're finished, or you have to wait till the project's completely finished before you put it away?
I think I'm definitely a little bit better at putting it away than my partner.
Yeah.
But we generally will keep a project out if we're kind of in the middle of it and it's a long one.
Yeah.
Ideally, if we can kind of put it onto our trolley in the meantime. I'm bedazzling a book at the same time that I'm beading some flowers at the moment, and I'm also doing a diamond painting. That's too many things to have out at one go. The diamond painting stays out on the table because it's too big to put away, but the beading for my flowers and the bedazzling of my book, I put them back into my trolley when I'm done with the session. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's such a key thing is the trolley, to be able to
It's
move
so
it
good.
around. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I have
and
used
because
that with clients. Yeah.
yeah, and because we both are kind of doing different crafts at the same time, it doesn't probably feel too overwhelming if I left my own crafts out, but if Atlas was to leave their crafts out and then I go into the craft room and do crafting, but their stuff's out, then it's a little bit
Yeah.
overwhelming. So I think when there's two of us in the same space, like maybe if there's two kids that are crafty or, two housemates or two partners, if you're both kind of doing it and both creating the mess, it's kind of double the mess. So having that little trolley to put your part away really helps the other person have the
Yeah.
accessibility when they go to do it. So I think that's been really helpful for us. Yeah.
And just, I suppose, also giving you that space to actually do it on a table, but you've got the
Yeah,
trolley there with all the supplies and not taking up
exactly.
all
You don't
that
have to like
creative
keep
space.
standing up. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's another thing too, isn't it? You can actually stay where you are and be
Yeah.
able to easily grab it.
Stay in the zone. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I'm just thinking if I had to get up and go to get something, I'd forget and I'd be doing the
100%.
washing
Then I'd
maybe
wander
instead.
off. Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you come up with your creative ideas?
I think a lot of it is just really experimenting and exploring and play. I think coming up with creative ideas is really like from experiences that I do, like there's I'm not really a sentimental person, but I do like to kind of reflect a lot. So if we do something together, it's quite nice to maybe do a junk journal page about it, and that
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of allows me to explore what were the favorite things that I did about it, or maybe if we went somewhere, what was the music that we were listening to in the car on the way there? Like I kind of like to reflect on the things that I'm probably going to forget. So I know that when we painted our first wall in a house a year and a half ago now, I remember that we painted the wall, but I knew I was going to forget that we were listening to this really good album at the time and that we, had this certain thing for lunch when we were doing it. And so I did a junk journal page and included those things that I knew we would forget, but kind of really takes you back to the moment. That really allows me to get creative. And then, social media, there is a world, like a never ending world on social media of ways to get creative. So I have folders on both my Instagram and my TikTok where I save ideas too. So if I'm like, oh, I really want to get creative, I've got nothing new, I can go back through there, see what other people have done, get re-inspired all over again. And I think that is really helpful, having somewhere that you can kind of go back to.
yeah.
And then I think the other way that I kind of like to be creative is whenever I need something, I try and like pause for a moment and think, could I just simply make it? And I think I have this desire for my life to be like colorful and whimsical. And if you make it, it like inherently is going to be more that. So yeah, I started this new job recently and I was given a key for the office, and that key's just been sitting in the bottom of my bag. And I know for a fact I'm going to lose it. So I've been thinking, oh, I need to buy a keychain, need to buy a keychain. And then I was like, I can just simply make a keychain. I'm sure I've got stuff to make a keychain. So this weekend I'm going to be making a
That's your
keychain
plan.
with my beads and maybe some ribbon, like, leaning into like, what do you need? Can you just make
Yeah.
it with what you've got? And if you're a crafty person with just like stuff, probably.
Yes. And yes, a lot of my clients are crafty people, and they
Yeah.
always have those little parts that you could make anything.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
And lots of things can cross over as well, can't they? Like it's like,
Yeah.
because when I have done some categorizing with people, they're like, wow, that could go over here in
Yes.
beads, and then that could go
Yes.
over here in junk
Yes.
journal. And actually,
I think
let's just
that's
put it
why,
here.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's why I don't like too micro detail of
Yes.
categorizing, because then I think you get like overwhelmed and stuck on like where does it go? And
Yeah.
also sometimes you actually end up losing it. Yeah, because if I have my wire cutters, I have them
Yes.
in with my beading because that's generally where I use it. But if I had just like tools, I don't know, when I went to use them for something else, I might not associate it with what I typically use it with. And yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes too detail categories can actually make it harder to put things away, harder to find things. So yeah,
Yeah, and
definitely
I
that.
love working with people as to find out
Hmm.
how their brain would actually look for that item.
Yes.
What category would you want it in, and just the way people
Yes.
work. That's
Yeah.
really interesting to see. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like everyone would be quite different, right?
Yeah.
Like it's,
Yeah.
where I would put something might not necessarily be where someone else would put something, but because I use it with a certain thing 90% of the time, I would have it with this. So yeah, I think that would make so much sense that you kind of work with people and what they're kind of typically using things for.
Yeah. So what
Yeah.
about if you've got a creative block, or most people say they've got a creative block.
Yeah. Yeah.
What can they do?
I think perfectionism is the biggest thing that causes a creative block. And my approach to battling perfectionism, I think I also used to be quite a perfectionist. I think probably surely most people go through a phase where they are. I don't know anyone who hasn't struggled with that at least at some point in their life. And I think my cure to perfectionism is this idea of crafting, where my partner was quite a perfectionist when I first met them, and I taught them this like idea of crafting, and I've seen the evolution of them getting so much more brave with creativity. And the concept of it is like you try and make things that are like, quote unquote crap. But like
Yeah.
it's more about like just make anything, make bad art. If you make the like expectation bad, you kind of stop worrying about what it's going to look like. And then you can kind of like enjoy the process a little bit more. And I think because you're not worrying about the end goal over time, that practice kind of allows you to make good art because you learn the skills that most things aren't permanent. You paint something and you hate it. Cool. Paint over it. No worries. Like
Yeah.
it'll dry. Paint over it again. Like that's not a big deal. Or, you doing a beading project, maybe you muck it up. No worries. Unthread it. Like that's cool. No worries. You're knitting, you drop a stitch. Cool. No worries. Go back and
Yeah.
undo your stitches. Like most creative projects are and home projects to a degree, I guess, are like relatively not permanent. So I think by crafting, you kind of learn that skill. The other thing that you really learn is that like when you're kind of crafting and you make a mistake, it's so much easier to be like, oh, maybe I'll just do this thing instead. And you kind of work with it. You kind of go with the flow a little bit more. And then sometimes you end up creating things that you didn't really set out to, but like you end up loving them. And I
Yeah.
think when you have this perfect idea in your mind, you lose the ability to end up somewhere else. And I think that's a little like sad. Like it's really nice to kind of be like, oh, I'm actually just going to go with the flow. So yeah, crafting as a practice, I think is really helpful. And it's almost like a muscle. I think the more that you try
Yeah.
and be creative, and I don't mean this in like a literal, like artistic skill set way. I mean it in
Yeah.
more of like a mindset creative way. The more you practice pivoting and doing something else, the more you practice redoing stuff in a slightly different way, it becomes so much less scary. And I think the comfortability in doing that allows you to go like, you know what, let's paint squiggles on our roof. And if we
Yeah.
hate it, cool, we'll just paint over it. Like it really, yeah, so many people when they come see our house, like, oh, I've been stuck on my project. I bought our house a year ago. I've done nothing. I can't make a decision. And I'm just like, you know what, put all your things in a hat, pick one out and do that.
Just do
And
it.
if you hate it, cool, do the next one. Like
Yeah.
it's really like most crafting projects are like having that craft mentality has really, really helped us kind of get through that perfectionistic block.
I love that because it's also, I see this when I'll go to people's home and I'll be like, I don't know, we can just put these drawers in the wardrobe and then we
Yeah.
could put this here instead. And they're like, oh, oh, I never thought of doing that. And it's like,
Totally.
we can always take it back. Like it's
You
not
can take
permanent.
it back.
You can
Yeah.
always move it back. Let's just try it and
Yeah.
see how it goes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
So it's
just throw
funny.
it
It does
out.
go on with people all through their lives, all parts of their lives,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's not just craft,
Yeah.
but I do see it just that it's like, oh, no, I've never thought of, even the coffee. It's like where the coffee maker, maybe
Yes.
it could be here and put your coffee underneath in this drawer. Oh, but that's where the Glad wrap and the alfoil and stuff
Yeah.
would.
But
Yeah,
what
but
if it
let's just
didn't?
move it. Let's put it somewhere
Yeah.
else. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
you can
great.
just try it and like yeah, like things yeah, things like organizing, like it's just so unpermanent. Like you can
Yeah.
try stuff and like it's not a big deal. We too, a lot of people don't like it, but our top drawer in, how most houses have a set of four drawers and
Yeah,
generally
yeah,
you've got
yeah,
your cutlery in your first one, then your utensils in your
yeah,
second one, and there's a pretty standard, I reckon 99% of houses follow that method.
yeah.
We started putting our spices in the first
Oh,
drawer
nice. Yeah.
with like all of the labels. They're all like beautifully labeled and we have a lot of different spices. So the whole drawer, like front to back, is spices. And most people hate it. Like they come over and want to use a spoon and they're just like, oh my God, I'm having a crisis. Where the heck are your spoons? And we're like, they're in the second drawer. And we've
Oh,
even had
yeah.
people say that they've been like, I'm going to like actually break into your house and swap those drawers around. It bothers me so much. And it was a bit weird when we first did it for sure. But now we love it because we just keep that drawer open while we're cooking. And
Yes.
we use those spices so much more than we use the cutlery. So you just keep the spice drawer open and then you can just grab more spices, put them back. Like we love it. I don't,
Oh,
but
that's
yeah,
a great
a lot
idea.
of
See,
people,
that's looking at that functionality and doing it.
uh-huh.
Because imagine if you had to have the second drawer open with the
Yeah,
spices,
you'd
it's
have to
too
like lean
low.
down. It's too
Yeah.
low. Yeah.
I love it. I love those when you change things around and just try
Yeah.
something different.
Just try
Yeah,
it.
that's a great tip around the crap craft. And the thing is, I do see with creatives that they do that because they'll keep a picture, a canvas, and I'll be like, oh, do you want this? And they're like, oh yeah, I'll just paint over it and I'll be doing something else on it. So
Yeah.
yeah, they just look at, yeah, I tried it. I didn't really like that, but I'll keep it and do something
Yeah.
else over it another time.
100%. So many of my paintings have like 4 to 5 paintings underneath those paintings.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So that leads into then sustainability. Like, what's some of your things that you liked or you wish people would do more so they could be more sustainable and relating that even to being creative?
Yeah, I think there are so many things that you can reuse. We have a box of like stuff that's kind of like maybe we could use this, where it's not really like beading, it's not really like
Yeah.
embroidery. It's more like, I did a video recently of, those labels that you get in the mail that are like, here's a call for an electrician, and you meant to like stick it
Oh,
on your
yeah,
fridge
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's a magnet. And I was like,
Yep.
you can just stick a sticker on top of that or like print out a photo and then cut around it and then you've got a full magnet. Like this is a great magnet.
Yeah, that's a great
So
idea.
those sort of crafts we have a box of stuff that's just kind of like stuff that I reckon we could use that maybe is ugly in its current format. But then yeah, things like painting over paintings, like you don't have to throw a painting out because you don't like it anymore, paint another painting over it. Or maybe you can do something really fun. I saw someone get what are they called? Dominoes, and they stuck a
Oh,
bunch of
yeah.
dominoes onto a canvas, and that looked really cool as more of like like an elevated, high end, less colorful version of
Yeah.
art. Like, I think there are so many things that you can do to reuse crafts or even craft kits. Like maybe you were given a craft kit and you've got leftover thread in it or you've got leftover beads in it. Like don't throw them away because you've done the thing that it came with, but
Mm,
keep those things because you might be able to, make a keychain for your work when you get given a key and it's loose in your bag. Like there are
yeah.
so many things that you can do to like reuse stuff in crafts or um yeah, turn things into stickers. There's so many things, especially like this whole junk journaling movement now, which I'm
Yeah.
loving. People reusing their like labels from their Coke bottle. Like people are reusing so many things with like because junk journaling is very similar to scrapbooking, I guess. It's just kind of like
Yeah,
the
tell us a
methodology
little bit
behind
about
it.
it. Yeah, because I know what it is
Yeah,
because I work with people who do it all the time, but I'm
totally.
sure there's people going, what is junk
Was junk
journaling
journaling.
anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think like the background where like junk journaling came from is scrapbooking, which
Yeah.
historically I had a scrapbook growing up, and I think a lot of people did, where you'd cut out photos and maybe you'd buy stickers and you'd buy like really pretty paper and you'd
Yes.
buy things to put in this scrapbook to make it beautiful. And in the last couple of years, at least anyway, there's been this massive junk journal movement, which is the same practice of scrapbooking where you're, talking about the things that you did recently. You might print out a few photos to put in it. But then you also use things that, encompassed your day. So say you went out and you went to the movies, instead of just saving photos from the movies and maybe your movie stub, maybe you also was there a coaster there that you put your drink on? Maybe you keep the coaster. Or maybe you had your receipt from something that you purchased and you stick that in. Maybe the background is, maybe on the way home you got some McDonald's and it came in one of those brown paper bags, and you cut out the McDonald's logo and you stick that as your background. So yeah, the junk journaling movement is, rooted in scrapbooking and wanting to reflect and make things look beautiful. But it's kind of like, don't buy the stickers. How can you make a sticker? How can you use the bags that your food came in? Or people peel off the Coke, or I don't know, we drink Coke as our soft drink of choice in this house, but how do we peel off the Coca-Cola label on the plastic bottles and use that? Or when we get boxes, like cereal boxes or biscuit boxes or anything like that, I cut out the letters and I keep all the letters in one of those 24 compartment things. So I've got a thing of A's where I've cut out, so less is going in the recycling, and we used it for crafting. There's so many things like that where you can reuse what you've kind of got around the house.
I love that about that, the scrapbooking, how it's changed, and it's, using what we have rather than going out and having to buy all this stuff. It's reusing what we already have within our homes.
100%. Yeah.
So what is the best place for people if they wanted to connect with you? And also they have to check out your bathroom or your toilet. I can't wait to see what your bathroom is going to be looking like.
So I'm on Instagram and on TikTok, and the @ is kirsty.creative on both.
Yeah. And I love that, Kirsty Creative. That is such a great name, isn't it, to have?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time and sharing with us ways that people can get motivated and creative in their own homes, and also even reusing things around the house.
You're so welcome. Hopefully someone feels inspired to, paint some squiggles on their roof or start small with a keychain.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you.
Are you struggling to find ingredients to put a meal together? It's time to bring ease and order to your kitchen space with our free step-by-step pantry organisation guide. Our comprehensive guide walks you through each step to help you create a pantry that's both functional and organised. Head to simplyhappy.com.au to the resource tab to get instant access today. I'd like to acknowledge the Wadawurrung people of the Kulin Nation on which this podcast is recorded as the traditional custodians of the land. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging.